What is going on YouTube, and welcome to Gooner Souls match review. This is going to be one to watch. This is us taking on Leeds United. We absolutely battered them. The game ended 4-2, and welcome to my match review and tactical insight on what happened at Arsenal versus Leeds at the Emirates Stadium. Now let's get right into it. Please do subscribe, like, and share. And obviously, I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below, just to see obviously what you guys thought of the match as well. Now, to be fair, we had an emphatic start. We were absolutely pressing from the get-go. From minute one, we were winning everything. We were trying to get to the 50-50s, and guess what? We were doing well. We played absolutely amazingly well to beat a Leeds side who, to be fair, are so attacking and only to concede two. To be fair, we could have kept a clean sheet if it wasn't for lapses of concentration in the defence. If it wasn't for, like David Luiz not inserting himself against a Strujic goal as well. And when we look at that, obviously, and even Helder Costas, if it wasn't for like Bellerin, or to be fair, you can even blame Xhaka to a degree there. If it wasn't for them just being a little bit more assertive in their defensive role, we probably would have been keeping a clean sheet and we could have probably scored more. But obviously, the man who's back, Obama Blood Clot Yang, is back, baby. He scored the hat-trick. He was the one that everyone was doubting going into the game. I said he would score first, and I said he would reinsure himself in this game, and guess what? That's exactly what he did. He re-announced himself to the world, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang got a hat-trick in this game. It was absolutely needed in this game. Pacing behind was exactly what we needed to do to break them down, and that's what we did. Saka was absolutely amazing this game as well. He had an integral role to what we were doing. He was taking men on. He was asking questions of the defence. So was Aubameyang. Aubameyang looked energetic today as well. Even Dani Ceballos, coming in after such a long time, did an absolutely amazing job in that role as well. And being next to Xhaka, to be fair, the midfield wasn't even overrun, nor was it questioned really. They did really well together. And even the likes of Hector Bellerin, to be honest, didn't have their sort of stupidness and mistakes that they usually have. Even Cedric had a good game today. But obviously, we'll be getting into their lineup and everything as well. But obviously, we started off with an absolutely classic signature Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang goal. Obviously, Granit Xhaka assisting there. It was a beautiful passage of play between Emil Smith-Rowe, Granit Xhaka and Cedric, leading to the goal. And then obviously, him putting it away. There was no way Bielsa would have anticipated that, because usually he goes to that far post. He never usually takes it on the inside post, and that's what he did differently. That tricked the keeper into thinking, obviously, to go far post. So that was obviously one of the things that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did really well. He put it through the player's leg as well, and obviously got the first goal, and then absolutely announced himself back into business. And we move on. Obviously, there was a penalty shout before this as well on Saka, and obviously there's a lot of questions in regards to whether that was even a penalty to begin with, and whether the VAR or the referee made the right call or not. And to be fair, they've been given softer penalties in the season as well. If you look at the likes of Salah versus Liverpool, that wasn't really a penalty. He just breathed on him. He really just took the hands touched really, and that's it. But it is what it is. We move on. We can't keep dwelling on these referee mistakes. We know they're in the game. We know that that's part of it now. We can't keep sitting here and battering referees week in, week out, because it's just going to get ridiculous, I think. Obviously, then what happened was, obviously, Bielsa had the ball, and then Saka ran onto him, pressing him, and then obviously just got to the ball first and turned his back on him, and Bielsa fouled him. And obviously that was given a penalty, which Aubameyang put away, regardless of whether the keeper guessed the right way or not. That penalty was absolutely brilliantly struck and led to a goal. And then this Hector Bellerin goal, this is where Saka needs a lot of plaudits, because if it wasn't for his little run on the edge of the box that he cut inside and kept cutting in, and then he obviously found the pass to, I believe it was Cedric, and then Cedric whizzed it in, got into Dani Ceballos. Dani Ceballos' pass, man, needs a lot of credit, because that went through the player's legs, and then Hector Bellerin struck it with absolute venom. putting it in, putting us 3-0 up, putting the game into the bed, man. This was done. This was done in the first half, to be honest. We could relax. We could just sit there and be like, okay, we just need to manage this game well. And, the second half is obviously a lot of events to talk about. Bielsa doing what Bielsa does best in his game management. He brought on the likes of Tyler Roberts and held Acosta for Jack Harrison there, and Klitsch coming off as well. And it was needed because they were getting overrun. They were getting into places where they probably didn't want to be. And let's be honest, that's obviously cost them a little bit as well. And, they proceeded to them being a little bit better. They had a bit more of an energy. They were always going to re-announce themselves, let's be honest, because that's just who Bielsa's side are. They're a really physically fit team. They're always going to run. They're like Duracell bunnies, all of them. And that's exactly what they did. They did try to get back into the game, but 47 minutes, again, man, Aubameyang. Was it a shot? Was it a cross? Or was it just absolutely brilliant from a small throw? I don't think we're ever going to know the answer to that, Even he's going to be like, yeah, I meant to cross it. If that's a shot, just keep shooting Smith Rowe, because those passes are brilliant. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doing what he does best, a poacher's finish, just being in the right place at the right time. That is exactly what he does best, and that's his hat-trick, his first hat-trick in the Premier League. And the amount of goals this man scored to be his first hat-trick, just commendable, man, because that just shows how consistently he scores. It's not just individual games he gets a lot of goals in, it's a lot of variants of goals in different games, and that's just showing his quality. And it's needed because we got Benfica midweek, and it's absolutely needed to get him back onto the score sheet. Obviously, Bielsa makes his final change and brings Alioski off. We've seen what happened there when he walked around the pitch, past Pepe. Obviously, no contact there. And obviously, bringing on Niall Huggins. And then this is what these few events were like, what absolutely kind of just did take the wind out of a lot of fans, because we were on the absolute high. And Pascal Sturridge with an absolute bullet header, getting in front of David Luiz. Obviously, a brilliant delivery. They're good with their set pieces, and that bullet header was just unstoppable, let's be honest. But I think David Luiz could have done better. But I'm not going to blame him. He had a decent game, so I'm not going to sit there and absolutely bash plays when, to be honest, overall, we played a really good tactical game. And then, oh, for God's sakes, man, this guy, we can never get rid of him. This guy is always going to flipping turn up, and that's Willian. He came on. I don't even really know what he did. I can't remember what he did, to be honest with you. He's so negative as a player. He doesn't really offer anything. I don't know what he does. Anyways, I'm moving on because I don't really want to be ranting about it when we've won a game. But that's something Arteta really needs to answer for, because it's getting ridiculous. Like, this guy, I don't know why he's playing. I don't get it. I'd rather put El Neni there, because I can't be arsed with Willian anymore. And then obviously held Acosta, with a goal, putting it 4-2. And don't forget, 10 years ago against Newcastle, we were 4-0 up as well, and we drew that game 4-4. It was just the memories coming back. Deja vu could have been back. But we held on. We just about held on. And obviously with Tyler Roberts, this is where obviously could Bellerin have done better? Could Xhaka have done better? But let's be honest, right? Bellerin could have prevented the cross, which is what we've not been doing all season. We've not been stopping the crosses coming in. So yes, Bellerin should have done better. Xhaka, to be honest, when the ball comes in, it's a little bit difficult to judge sometimes as well. So I'm not going to blame him too much either. But again, they scored to bring it to 4-2. There's still time. There's still enough time for them to bring it back. But obviously, then this is where a little bit of game management was happening, where El Neni came on, Rob Holding came on, just to kind of reassure things up, just get us defensively solid, and not to leak more goals in. Well, Martin Odegaard had a brilliant game as well. He announced himself today as well. But obviously, looking at the starting lineup now, I wouldn't say there was a lot of shocks in this, because I think a lot of us fairly were confident that this is probably what the lineup was going to be. A lot of us predicted this. And it was obviously going into it was Leno in net, Bellerin, Luiz, Gabriel, Cedric, Ceballos, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang. And I said pace was key, and I've always said that, we need the ability to make passes as well, because Leeds are a good footballing side. There's no denying that at all. You know, they're brilliantly the way they set up, the intensity that they play at. You need to match it or you need to go home. And that's what we did. We played it with pace. We played it clever. We played it tactically. And that's exactly what was needed today. Obviously, when you even look at some of the stats in the game as well, we didn't have the most possession, but to be honest, we didn't need it. We knew they were going to have more of the ball. That's just kind of what we need to do sometimes. We just needed to be effective with the ball, and that's what we did. We had 13 shots and 5 on target. This is something which, you know, needs to be worked on, because we were creating the chances, but we're just not getting enough on target, and that's a problem. And look at the duels won, like it was 50-50, and that's what I said. We needed to be going in and trying to win more than Leeds. And to be fair, we matched them, you know, perfectly matched them pretty much. And then obviously when we look at the league table, this is obviously a story of our lives right now. We're not really moving up. We're not really doing anything. They've got a game in hand. If they win it, they go above us. But at the end of the day, look, we've got to keep winning and just hoping that people lose points around us. That's what United did. They lost the ball. They lost 2 points, drawing to West Brom, which a lot of us didn't really expect to happen, but it did happen. So there are positives to look at. Obviously, you've got Chelsea playing Newcastle today. Again, you know, there's points to be dropped there for us to gain on as well. So we just need to continue winning, and we need to just continue playing with our heads on, and that's what's going to happen. But even when we look at some of the ways that we tactically set up in this game. Now, if we look at the wing backs, for example, this is what I was talking about. This is what we needed to do more. Even when we look at it, Cedric and Bellerin are getting into those advanced positions a little bit more. They are creeping in as well. So they're giving the wingers an opportunity to cut out, because you've got the runner making a decoy inside run. So that's what we needed to be working on, and that's what it's looking like we're doing. Even Cedric's getting into shooting opportunities to try and get a ball in or shoot. They're getting into the edge of the box a bit more. Obviously, this is more where the goal came from. And obviously here as well, getting into the edge of the box to whip a ball in is what we needed to be doing. But then even when we look at sort of our primary, like sort of wingers and attackers, if we take Smith Rowe looks like... so Martin Odegaard was playing more of the central role. But even if we look at our wingers, for example, our wider players, they are coming in deeper and carrying the ball through. So they are doing their defensive duty as well as actually pulling the ball forward. And they are coming inside as well, getting into the box, being ready for the crosses that come in from the opposite side. So it's brilliant to see. And this is where we're tactically getting ready for, like, you know, setting up properly. And even when we look at Aubameyang, look at his work rate in this game. It's obviously this is where you want to be seeing him, but he's coming out onto the left as well. He's coming a little bit deeper to get the ball. And this is not what we've been seeing recently. So it's brilliant to see that he's also changing his approach to the game. Now, when we look at the likes of Odegaard as well, obviously predominantly onto the right, coming into those central positions as well, coming deep, linking play, and bringing the energy in. And that's exactly what we needed from him. And that's what he brought to the game. Now, even when we look at our two sort of like defensive midfielders and our pivots, exactly where you want to be seeing them, you know, high up, pressing the ball high up, coming into these central areas and offering that defense protection before it gets to the last line of defense. And that's exactly what we've been seeing, and it's been brilliant to see. And we had an amazing game, to be fair. We did really well to break a Leeds team down. They had, you know, people giving them so much damn credit coming into this, and we absolutely demolished them. That's all I can say about it, because at the end of the day, you know, we were better than them, and we did play a lot better football. We were tactically set up better. Even Bielsa understood that. Even Bielsa said after the game, the coach set them up right, and that's exactly what we needed to be hearing. The opposition are now understanding what Arteta wants to do. Even United fans, when we played them, they've been saying it coachingly, you guys are getting better. So we need to give this man time. We need to back him. We need to back the process. And I know a lot of people don't understand the process, but there's multiple videos out there. If you don't understand it, there's nothing I can do about that. But ultimately, people need to start trusting the guy, because he can do it. He can pull results out. He's trying to change a culture, not just a team, and that's what he's doing. So ultimately, we need to just give it time, give the process some time, because we will get back to where we need to be. We will get top four. The team is coming together. So guys, give it time. But this has been Gunnar Souls. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Gunnar.